fourth graders. It's been a while since I taught you a reading lesson, but I am so excited today that Mr. Scott is allowing me to teach you about something that's kind of different. It is a reading strategy, sort of, but it's more of a skill that readers have. And readers know about these parts of words called syllables. Do you know what a syllable is? I hope you do by now. Usually we clap them out, right, like this, and we talk about the parts of a word and those different chunks of the word that we hear. So the reason that we're going to be talking about this today as fourth graders, because you've been doing this for a while, is because knowing where to break apart a syllable will help us to read new words that are a little bit longer. You know, as you're getting older, you're seeing words that are longer, and as you move up in reading levels, you'll keep getting words that are more difficult to read. So it'll help us to read those new longer words, but also when we're writing and we're handwriting something, you know how sometimes you just run out of space at the edge of your paper and you just can't fit that whole word in there? Well, you're supposed to break that at a syllable. Well, what if we don't know where the syllable is and we don't know where to break that word? So I'm going to help you with that a little bit today with some different types of words. So our objective today is this. I can take apart multisyllable, meaning more than one syllable, words between consonants, but keep consonant digraphs together. So there's a couple words in there that you might need to know or you might need to be reminded of. The first is consonant. It's, not a vowel. So it's anything like B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N. Every letter that's not a vowel is a consonant. So there's that. And then a digraph is two letters together. Two letters, not any vowels. Two letters that just make one sound. So like sh, f, ng, those kind of things. The blends that you might have learned to squish together when you were younger, those things that blend together, that is a consonant digraph. It just makes one sound, but it's made up of two letters. So there are digraphs, and then syllable is just a chunk of a word. It's part of a word. So we're going to be using those words today to talk about breaking apart our words. So these are our multi-syllable words, and we're going to talk about how to break them apart. So I have some words up here and some words on this side, and I want you to see if you can figure out what's the same with these words and what's the same with these words. So I'm going to read the word, and I want you to kind of talk to yourself. It's okay if you whisper because you feel weird or awkward if people are watching you, but I want you to kind of whisper it to yourself, maybe even like do a little clapping to see where would you break that word into syllables. So my first word here is tunnel. You hear tunnel. So it sounds like tunnel. But where do I break that apart? Think about it. Where would you break that apart? So this is not a consonant digraph. This is not two sounds together making one sound. This is the same sound. So it's okay to break this apart right here in the middle. I'm going to break it between those two ends. Tunnel. So if I am getting, and I'm writing about my family was driving through the tunnel and we were about to, I don't know, leave the tunnel, I guess. If I get to the end of my line and I'm writing and I'm trying to write the word tunnel, but I run out of space, I'm going to break it right here and I'm going to write it like this, and then I'm going to go on to my next line. Have you ever broken apart a word like that? You know what I mean? When you run out of space on the page, this is what helps you break it apart and know where to break it apart properly. So then we have a word like compute. Now, we're talking about breaking them apart between consonants. So here in the middle, right, compute. Where am I going to break that apart? Does this M and P together make one sound? Is that a digraph? No. So I'm going to break that apart there in the middle, compute. The next one is sentence. Sentence. Where should I break that apart? Hopefully you said between the N and the T. Sentence. N and T together don't make one sound. They keep their separate sounds. So sentence. What about practice? Where would you break that word apart? Hope you said between the C and the T. Practice. Practice. Doesn't make one sound. It's the kt. Still have those separate sounds. And then frantic. Frantic. We're going to break that apart between the N and the T. It's just one way to break them apart. See if you've noticed something about these here. Brother, fashion, kingdom, gather, graphic. So when I look at this word brother, you hear those sounds, right? I'm going to break that apart right here. Brother. Fashion. It's going to be that I-O-N sound on the end. And then I have kingdom. Kingdom. I'm going to break that right apart there in the middle. Gather. Should I break it apart here? Should I break it apart over here? What would you do? Think about it. Where would you break that apart? So it's actually going to go here. And then graphic. Where would you break that word apart? Graphic. Graphic. So it's going to go right here. So I kind of went through those quickly. I want you to see if you notice something here. We have brother, fashion, kingdom, gather, graphic. Do you hear those digraphs? Those are the consonant digraphs. We broke it apart after the consonant digraph. Here we broke it apart in between the consonants because it wasn't a digraph. It didn't make one sound, so we could separate the sounds. Here it makes one sound. You can't separate those sounds. Do not break up the sounds. There are no breakups today. Nobody's getting broken up with, not these consonants at least. So if you look at these and you see, this is the digraph. Brother, that TH is a digraph. Sh, digraph. Ng, digraph. And f, those make one sound, so we're going to break it after that sound. Okay? So, to review one more time, when we have multisyllable words, we're going to break them apart between the consonants, but we're going to keep those consonant digraphs together. So here, these were not digraphs. They didn't make one sound, so we went ahead and said tunnel. Here, we had a consonant digraph like the TH, so we had to keep that together and then break it after. We don't want to break it in the middle or before. It's not brother, it's brother. Okay, so we're going to make sure we break those apart. This is going to help you with reading new words that are longer and have more than one syllable, and it's also going to help you to know when to break apart the end of that word if you need to go on to a new line. This will help you as a reader.